in North Carolina. That may be Tennessee's right over that way somewhere over there. I'm not sure how far. Certainly some beautiful mountain vistas up here. Harvested a lot of the timber off this land here. Has to be done every few years or we get big forest fires and stuff. School bus are flying down the road. This road goes up to the world famous Joe Brown Highway. It's up here just a few miles, not too awful far. Some nice big old mountains over there. The house up on top of that one. You can see it or not. Another big old mountain over there. You might say we're kind of up in the mountains here, aren't we, folks? Down there. My goodness, that's where they've been harvesting timber down there. You wouldn't want to run your car off there, would you? On the other side of this lake that we just come over down there, I pulled one of my craziest motorcycle stunts that I guess I ever pulled over there. And it was my brother lived down in Atlanta then, and I lived in Indiana. This was back in sometime in the mid to late 80s, I guess, somewhere along in there. Late 80s, I'd say, or early 90s, maybe even. Regardless, we came off up here, and over on the other side over there, there's a state park over there, the Hanging Dog, H-A-N-G-I-N-G, Hanging Dog State Park over there, next to Hanging Dog, North Carolina. And so we brought the bikes up on trailers from Atlanta up here, dirt bikes. My brother and I, let me stop for you. You see up there in that gap between the two mountains there, that's where I'm heading for. We're going to go up to the gap in the mountains and maybe turn around and come back. But anyway, my brother and I, we couldn't even walk beside each other without racing each other. I mean, it's just the way we grew up. And we were always very competitive about, especially on motorcycles and stuff. And I mean, even before you going somewhere, we'd have to see who got the best gas mileage, whatever. And, so anyway, we're out there, and we've been out in the mountains for several hours riding, just having a big time. It was this, my brother and I got to racing. His son-in-law and his son, and a couple other guys that were neighbors were with us up there, I guess. And anyway, we got to racing up there with each other. I was trying to get past him. I couldn't get past him, and I saw this trail that turned off, went up over this big rock to the left. This rock's 30 feet high maybe or something like that, but there was a trail up it, So I just took a chance that I could cut him off up there. I took off flying up that rock, and I got over to the other side, and it dropped about maybe 15 or 20 feet straight to the ground with nothing underneath it. It just stopped. And I was in a panic when I saw it, and I couldn't get stopped, and I went right off that thing. I went down, and I landed on the front wheel of that bike, and I had such a death grip on the handlebars that it actually flipped me over the front wheel with me still hanging onto the bike. And then when it bounced, it flipped me back over into the seat, me still hanging onto the bike. Well, everybody who was riding with us saw it, and they was just dying laughing. Nobody had ever seen anybody do a stupid thing like that, I have no idea how or why I did that, but and I was so afraid coming loose off that bike and hitting the rocks that I was wanting to hang on. And it actually bent the handlebars too pretty bad. So we stopped and tried to get our act together and everything, and we started back off riding again. My right shoulder was killing me. And so we keep on riding, and we keep on riding, and I got to where I couldn't hardly do nothing, you know, and I couldn't hardly twist the throttle. So I finally motioned to him, and we stopped up there, and my brother took the throttle lever off the right handlebar and slid it on over on the left, turned backwards, but at least my left arm, I could twist the thing. So I rode it down out of those mountain trails. This is Joe Brown Highway right up through here. And I rode it back down out of them mountains, and my arm was killing me, buddy, I'm telling you. And I managed to get back home to Indiana, you know, and it was hurting, and it was hurting, and it was hurting. And I was in the lawnmower business back then. Whoa, bounce out. I was in the lawnmower business back then, and spring was a-coming, and that was in Thanksgiving when we was down here, and spring was a-coming, and it kept hurting. I finally go to the doctor, and so he says, well, we're going to have to inject that shoulder and x-ray and see what's happened in there. He says, you may have tore your rotator cuff in there. And I said, what? And I never actually, heard of such a thing at that time. And so they set me down, and they come out with this needle that was probably about 12 inches long, and they stuck that thing down in the top of my shoulder. And they stuck it in, I guess, 7 or 8 inches in there to inject the dye down into my, I guess you'd call my right breast there, in that area there. And then they stuck it in a second time into my right arm, the top of it. Whoa, this is bumpy up here. And so, you know, they inject dye or something other in there that shows on the x-ray. Sure enough, I had tore that rotator cuff, tore it several inches. And so I asked him what, because it had been probably 10 weeks or so since I did that, and I couldn't hardly move that arm. And so I asked him what, you know, did I need the operation or what? He says, well, yeah, says, you know, we can go ahead and operate on that thing and stitch it up like it should be, you know, or we can leave it alone. And I said, well, what do you mean? He says, if I leave it alone, it's likely to recover, possibly. If we go in there, why, we can probably stitch it up, but it might not ever recover. Sometimes they don't when they do that. So I'd rather not have an operation than have one. So I told him, just leave the thing alone. So I kept, he told me, give me exercises and stuff to do. And I did all those, and I totally recovered that right arm. The stupid part of it was, I had also torn the rotator cuff in my left arm. Obviously not as bad because I never had it x-rayed, but to this day I don't have full rotation in that left arm like I used to. In the right arm, I can swing that thing around and around, you know, but the left one won't do it. So it shows you how stupid you can be and not think about, you know, what the hell you're doing. And I never did get past my brother that day. Never did. This is the crest of the mountain right up here. What about that? We're up on top of this big old mountain now. Now there's a farm up here. Now, I don't know exactly where their fields would have been to farm. That's the new farmhouse there that you see there with this garage and a red truck there, and the old one's back there in the background. Farmhouse. There's the old farmhouse over there with the tin roof on it. The old outbuildings right here's one of them. And there's another one up there. Maybe they farmed some of the bottom land down there in the bottom. I don't know. Interesting old buildings. Well, I think I think we'll just, oh, that's for sale. Fixer-upper, I suppose. I guess we'll just have to try our luck. And this used to be kind of rough going down this way. I don't know if they've smoothed it out or not. I think we're going to stay maybe over in this lane a little bit. Looks a little smoother than the other one does. Let's stop it. Just want you to see them mountains up there. Roads like this are what I really wanted this scooter for. Well, this is old Chainsawbob's adventure riding. My version. The old man version of it. And doing it on this scooter with street tires on it, it's loose gravel. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Yeah. There's somebody that lives off down here. It's not too far down here. It's got a sign next to the mailbox that I wanted to video. There's a fellow that lives off up here that'd just rather be left alone, I guess. Can't get much further away from anybody around here, I don't think, than what this guy lives down here. Right here it is. Yeah, the sign's still there. Oh, what a pretty view up in there. Look at that. I'll pull up here where we can read this sign. Citizens for Better America. Fair warning. If you are here to take my guns, if you are here to vaccinate me, things are going to get ugly. Private property, no trespassing. Private Choctaw Lane. And I can see a house back there, or maybe a trailer or something off back up there. But you sure don't have any neighbors bothering him in there. There it is, this trailer up there. Don't look like anybody's living there, but that don't mean anything. I've made videos down through here before on various dirt bikes that I've owned. But this is the first time I ever took a scooter down through here. Easy enough riding. Just a little bit on the bumpy side. These tires on these Chinese scooters just have what feels like no give to them at all. They're just hard as a rock. So eventually, I decided that this is what I'm going to use for a vehicle off-road. I'm going to get me a set of small knobbies, 12-inch on the front, 12-inch on the back. Just me and you and the bears out here, mountain lions, and cougars, and black panthers. This might be where that road turns off down here. We'll just have to see. I'm pretty sure that's Chainsawbob Creek there. What you say? You didn't think Chainsawbob had a creek? Yes, I've got a creek. It's my damn video. And if I say that's Chainsawbob's Creek, and you see it on YouTube, you know it's true. You know it's true. Everything you see on YouTube and everything that Joe Biden says is truth. Well, maybe. Well, nah, that couldn't be true. I don't think Joe Biden has any idea of what he's saying, and 99.9% of what he says don't seem to be true to me. Wow, look at that. That's pretty. They sure cleared these mountainsides off. It's a pretty nice little road. I'm glad I come down it. I hope it goes where I think it does. That sun reflecting off, that's pretty down there. Sure is.